We're all familiar with the fable Turtle and the Rabbit, where the diligent turtle triumphs over the quick yet complacent rabbit. The moral of the story is evident: slow diligence wins the game. However, it seems that justice is far from reality. Some are never given a chance to win the race or even catch up with other players. They have no choice but to watch as other players charge forward and widen the gap, whereas they fall farther and farther behind. They're considered losers, dropouts, and failures. Who are they? We call them borderline intellectuals, or in other words, slow learners. By definition, those with an IQ score ranging from 71 to 84.
It is heartbreaking to see my child in a constant, everyday struggle to catch up with his classmates in his studies, and to see him lacking confidence and faith in himself because he feels like there's nothing he can do to change that situation.
Their key difficulties arise from their low intelligence. In comparison with their peers, slow learners lag behind in every single domain of the developmental spectrum.
They lack the ability to comprehend and execute, and often fail to finish class material within given time. So by the end of the class, it is highly likely that their textbooks have more unsolved questions than solved.
Signs of retardation typically emerge at around the age of 8 to 9. The child starts to find it harder and harder to keep up with the teacher's words. As they grow older, they're rarely given a chance to participate in class because they're considered an obstacle. Left unattended, these children can do nothing more than just sit in a daze, understanding only half of the class material at best. Educational retardation is accumulative. Theoretically, this means that while their peers move on to higher education, these children will only achieve as much as an elementary school graduate. This is a problem in that school years are not only about getting good grades, but more essentially about learning the necessary skills for a normal life. Slow learners, without being given a proper chance to learn these skills, find themselves in chronic helplessness and a sense of defeat.
My students would come to me and tell me that they're afraid of studying. I would ask them why, and I find out that in reality, it doesn't come down to studying itself, but rather the studying environment that adds the pressure. The moment they start to think it's their problem that they fail to understand the teacher's words, they just let go. They lose their sense of purpose or willpower.
Slow learners eventually have to watch the gap grow wider between themselves and their peers. For them, the gap is not only discouraging in relative comparison, but also dangerous. Their deficiency puts them in situations which non-slow learners would not have to experience. What they need isn't some tremendous benefit that would grant them best grades for top universities. It is more about A, customized education to complement their learning deficiency, and B, being given it at the earlier years of elementary school before retardation starts accumulating.
However, in Korea, slow learners are not given any assistance. That is because slow learners are not recognized as a population that needs support. The Korean law dictates that anyone with an IQ score over 70 is capable of living an ordinary life when it clearly is not the case. A slow learner with an IQ of 71 cannot receive necessary aids including daycare, vocational, and of course educational services, all of which would have been granted if his IQ score was lower than 70. That's why some caregivers would even have their children become intellectually disabled so that they could receive meaningful help. The size of this population makes it truly disappointing that their existence and their needs are neglected. A normal distribution of intelligence test scores would imply that about 13.6% of the total population are slow learners. That means there are no less than 5 slow learners in this room, or 800,000 school-age children in Korea.
800,000 children being deprived of their given rights to be educated.
800,000 children waiting in the darkness for the helping hand that was never offered. We thought something could be done here. It was evident there was a huge demand that was not being attended to. We thought the gap could be filled and we could be that answer. This is how Project Doing kicked off. We began by meeting slow learners and their families. Their pain point was clear. A, the child's deficiency grows over time, but there's a limit in parents' intervention on the child's studies. And B, current forms of education, such as school classes or after-school programs, cannot provide the child with enough attention, as teachers have to take care of multiple children at once. And C, teachers are unfamiliar with the concept of slow learners, thus would simply perceive the child as uncooperative and difficult.
Accordingly, our solution was to A, match someone who could sit down with the child and help them build a learning deficiency. B, make it happen in the form of one-on-one tutoring. C, train tutors into educational experts with a thorough understanding of slow learners and their characteristics. It was not an unsolvable question. It was just a single step to make a difference, to make it into a correct solution, and at the same time, a sustainable business. As a result, we proudly present to you Doing, the first tutor matching service for slow learners in Korea.
Let us take you through our footsteps. First and foremost, we had to know whether this was headed the right way. We began by getting in touch with 3 slow learner children families and offered them free demonstration courses. They were happily surprised to be offered such a service, and we spent 14 sessions together in total. Though very short and only demonstrational, the course was a huge hit within the slow learner community. Parents told us how their children loved the Doing tutor. Parents repeatedly asked when the service launches, because they wanted to be the first official client to the Doing service. Our solution was spot on.
Now that we found the problem solution fit, we wanted to quickly start building this solution into a business. As our partner, we chose college students with an interest in special education. They were kind, energetic, and had a deep understanding of what it's like to teach children with special needs. Above all, they were the exact persona that caregivers wanted as their children's tutor. In May, we opened the Doing tutor recruitment in Seoul. The job opening drew a lot of attention, and we had more than 80 applications in less than 2 weeks. After a thorough resume examination and intensive interview, we recruited 30 tutors. In order to train them into capable tutors, we developed a training curriculum by collaborating with educational professionals. Doing tutors have successfully completed the 4-step tutor training curriculum in August, and they are now certified tutors of slow learner education. All 30 of them signed a formal contract with Doing afterwards, and as of now, these tutors have provided 440 hours of service in total.
One could say it's just simple tutoring, but I think it's something much more than that. I believe it's about exploring and developing the child's inner world that no one has paid attention to. I feel very honored that I can be a part of this important process, and I think its value cannot be measured in numbers. Actually, it's a 1.5-hour trip to get there, but it never wears me out.
Here's what I've been through. Exactly 1 month ago, we matched our first client to a tutor. Today, we have 28 clients matched to a Doing tutor. For the first month after launching the service, our sales were $2,000, and the number is expected to grow fast. Since September, Doing has not seen a single day without a match request coming in. More than 20 match requests came in on the very day we launched the service. Positive reviews left by early users help convert potential customers into active customers. Doing's aim is to match all these requests. To make that happen, we are planning to recruit more tutors in January. From then on, we'll periodically recruit tutors 3 times a year. To ensure that the training curriculum effectively produces Doing tutors, we will bring educational professionals deeper into our business. This will grant us at least 100 clients by the end of the first quarter of 2024.
In 3 years, we will advance into different cities other than Seoul. Number of users will be approximately 2,000, and by then we will expand our service into various domains such as mentoring programs or counseling services. We could even be considering incorporation into the public education itself. In order to be there leading the change, Nudoing is drawing a bigger picture from the beginning. Nudoing is establishing an extensive network of lawmakers, education startup companies, welfare institutions, and even other Enactus teams. We are now with numerous partners that have come together under the same purpose to create a collective impact. And it is Nudoing who is in the middle.
Nudoing knows what matters. Nudoing understands the core needs of slow learner children and provides the support they need, ensuring no one is left behind in their educational journey. Nudoing is the answer that slow learner families have been waiting for.
I would like to send gratitude and admiration to the Nudoing tutors for all their time and effort put into us. The sincerity and consideration they have shown for the children are extraordinary, which I may even say surpass my own sometimes. I would like to thank the tutors for giving us hope and walking with us on this journey. I look forward to continuing this journey together.
Education should be an open door for all who need it. To slow learners, this door has been so closed for a long time, and we are trying to open it for them.
Doing seeks to become a service that slow learners can always lean on. Dreaming of a brighter future for slow learners, we will always walk with them. That's what we do.
That's what Nudoing is about.
That's what Enactus is about.
We are one.
We are
Enactus.
We will now start the question and answer period, and only judges may ask questions. Start with Sam.
Thank you for your presentation and the work you're doing. Question for you about the business model. When you look at the tutoring costs, it looks like you have 14 hours of training for tutors on the front end. Can you talk a little bit about the percentage that you take as the company, as the organization, and what tutors are expecting to get from you?
So the question is about how much of the 14 hours of training we do as Nudoing. Is that correct?
So you're doing some part of training. I assume the tutors, do they pay to be trained? And then if that's one part of the question. The second is, as you pay, charge for services to clients, how much does Nudoing take as a cut for what you're doing?
I'll answer the second question first. It's on the annual report. The caregivers of slow learners will pay $30 an hour for the service fee. We pay Nudoing tutors $25 an hour as the lesson fee, and we take $5 as the commission. And as for the first question,
for making a curriculum is costed about like $500, and actually that costs more than our revenue. However, we're planning to optimize our system and planning to recruit more tutors. So it's just about scale of the economy. And when we recruit more tutors, we get more money. So in order to the growth rate, we get to improve the situation. Yeah.
To add more, that 14 session of the curriculum is the part of the training the tutors into actual Nudoing tutors. So it is not paid for the program, but Nudoing tutors are voluntarily participate in our 14 sessions of training curriculum that gives opportunity for them to meet slow learner children. Thank you.
To wrap up, it would be like an investment by the Nudoing. So we invest in these people to be educated and trained as tutors. These tutors, then trained, go into real service and provide the service to slow learners. Then we get the commission from the lessons from the tutors. Thank you.
As we were just talking about the cost, can the families that need the support afford the service? Have you checked that?
Could you please repeat the question?
The families who need the support for slow learners, can they afford the tuition fee? Have you checked that? What are the numbers? What is the average wage they have, and can they afford that on the long term?
We have done market research and consumer survey, and we have checked that $30 an hour is average or below the number that they are already paying for other services, such as PE classes or after-school programs. So $30 an hour is something that is not unaffordable, right? That isn't unaffordable. So we have checked, and they are more than willing to pay for this service. They're really happy about this price.
If you have like 800,000 Koreans for demand, you need probably more than 5,000 tutors, right? How do you connect these people? How do you receive more tutors in your system?
Currently, what we are doing right now is penetrating the community. So we actually have collaborated with Harang, which is the biggest slow learner parents community in Korea, and our users currently we have are from that Harang's community. So from our phase right now, we are trying to penetrate the community, and after that, we get a lot of attention on the slow learners community, and then we can get another users that are not from community. So that's what we are planning to do. Yeah.
Adding to that, may I just please add another answer to that question? I think the question was about how to recruit more tutors to come into the service. Am I correct? Both of them. I think the customer side, this guy has explained well. About the tutors, we're trying to contact with special ed departments of each colleges in the country. Right now, we're only contacting with the special ed departments in Seoul, but we can expand the service into other regions, other cities, as explained in the annual report, which will grant us more tutors into the service. That would be the answer. Thank you.
Could you explain to me what your unique selling points are in comparison to other tutoring companies that are also focused on difficult learners?
Well, first to start off, basically this market is non-existent in Korea. There are no competitors in this market. We are the pioneer and the opener of this market. So we could say...
Your time has expired. I'm sorry. Please help me thank the Enactus team of Korea. Thank you.